Gruden loves his fullbacks. First and goal. Second man throw is Josh Jacobs. Got there. Touchdown Raiders. Carr to throw, and why wouldn't he? Right underneath the covers to Josh Jacobs. Jacobs stays on his feet. Sims kind of Super Bowl completion percentage. Carr's 21 of 25. Keeps it on the ground. Bangs it down towards the goal line for the touchdown Raiders. Snap it with one, take every second off. Again, it's Josh Jacobs. Jacobs is the first player with 100 yards from scrimmage and 2 touchdowns in his first NFL game since 2001, and LaDainian Tomlinson. Wow. That's an impressive note.
Sims is it.
Running back up field and picking up a quick 12. Josh Jacobs.
180, is it?
Open up the handoff here to Jacobs. Slips out of a tackle, and the rookie's taken off. Takes Chiefs with him all the way down to the 30. That's a 51-yard run.
Nelson couldn't get the first down there because of the way the pass was. And there is the flip to Josh Jacobs, who has the first down and more, and ridden out of bounds. Good block by Foster Moreau, the 4th-round pick from LSU, and a great 18-yard gain.
Absolutely. I think it's only gotten bigger.
Second down 4. Jacobs is in. The rookie out of Alabama breaks a tackle, and with a nice cut, he's in the secondary. Brought down to the play by Khari Willis. He is a rookie out of Michigan State. Jacobs now 4 yards away from being #1 in franchise history for rookie rushing through 4 games. Are looking for someone as Jacobs. That's going to be a first down. They make a miss there with the missed tackle by Muhammad and out of bounds, followed by Anthony Walker. Yep, the right guard, Debbie, is out. Good take in his place. First and 15. Jacobs, Hudson a block. Good, a block. Oh, and he bursts through! And he's got a 16-yard gain.
And here is Jacobs with a first down. A couple of missed tackles, but the usually reliable Bears defense, and the Raiders, who started from their 10, are now at the 40-yard line. They've run 5 times and passed for 4 occasions. And here is Jacobs back in the game, and Jacobs is going to score. Touchdown, Oakland. Now the Raiders are on the 3-yard line. Josh Jacobs, big run. And a first down close to the 20-yard line. At the 2. And here is Jacobs for the touchdown.
On right here, Jim, they're trying to get to all these efficient plays, I call it. They see your defense, they get to a correct play, and they go run it.
They run it to the right side, cutting back to the middle. It's another good run by Jacobs. Cutting outside. Stiff arm at the 50 and still going. Cutting back to the middle, and he's down to the 29-yard line. Richie Incognito and Trevor Davis helped clear it early.
We have multiple plays from all these formations. That's not easy to do to get everyone on the same page, but they do it really well.
That's Jacobs. He's got a 100-yard game on this run, and he's taken off. Holds it with 2 hands smartly.
Getting this start after he was traded on Monday. On first down is Josh Jacobs running left, and Jacobs slips a tackle and picks up a first down. At the Houston 48-yard line, first down and 10. Here's Jacobs trying the right side, gets around Watt. There goes Jacobs. First down and more. Still going inside the 30-yard line. Garyon Conley and Keon Crossan are the corners for Houston. Carr swings one. That's Jacobs. Oh, what a move by the rookie. Jacobs still going across the 35 for a first down.
Since coming over as a free agent from Kansas City in his 9th year. And this time it'll be Jacobs off to the right side. Breaks it outside and along the sideline. Stays in bounds to the 40-yard line.
180.
11th play of the drive. Jacobs will find the end zone. We thank Dean Blandino. He'll be part of our broadcast team throughout the afternoon. Jacobs rips one off and still on his feet. Inside the 25, that'll be a 17-yard run. 180. First down and goal, they pitch it to Jacobs. What a block, delivered by Ingold. And a touchdown.
Instead of going the other way with the ball, they give up 7 points.
Raiders have 34 yards of offense and 1 first down. Here's Jacobs, now 2 first downs. 180. Out of the backfield, Jacobs, nice move. Kind of high-stepping his way out there on the edge. And a catch and run of 14 yards.
Going and doing the show from some of those locations.
Third down and a long one. Jacobs back in the game. The rookie for the touchdown.
Here's Derek Carr with the pitch to Jacobs, and Jacobs with a lot of running room, fighting his way across the 45-yard line. 180. This is Jacobs. Jacobs with room, 30, 25, 20, and out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. He has not. And this is Jacobs, left side, cuts it back, and gets some running room, and out close to the 35-yard line and just short.
Over to Darren Waller, fine tight end. They hand it off to Jacobs, the rookie. Cuts the corner and picks up about 12. He just needs 43 coming into this game to be the first Raider rookie to ever rush for 1,000 yards on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. It's Jacobs. Look at Jacobs running over people and picking up another 15. 180. Jacobs, the one bright spot so far. Look at it taking off. Jacobs brought down by Thornhill.
180. 2nd down, 9. Jacobs back there in goal to block in time for Carr, and off to Jacobs, and dancing outside gets by Calitro. Chased by Payne again, who's been a nice find. Catch and run, though, to the 35. 14-yard play by Josh Jacobs.
180. Jacobs to the end zone. Touchdown. And we have a Panther down at the 5-yard line.
I think it shows great leadership on the part of some of the veteran players, particularly a guy like Derek Carr.
The pitch for Jacobs, right side, touch back inside a block at the first down, close to the 30-yard line. That'll be another Raiders first down. Jacobs, near side, dancing through tacklers and across the 40 to about the 44-yard line, and a first down, brought down by Tahir Whitehead. 2nd and 14. Carr stepping up, throwing over the middle. That's Jacobs out of the backfield, ditches a couple of tacklers, still on his feet, and now down at about the 25, maybe the 24-yard line. Shaq Thompson. Jacobs had the first down, has the touchdown.
And Matt Rule do it. It's not because of the money, it's because they can't do without it. They love coaching.
Quick pass to Jacobs. Jacobs breaks the tackle, and here he goes across the 40 and out to about the 43-yard line. 180. On 1st and goal, Jacobs to the right side, inside the 5, to the end zone for the touchdown. His 3rd of the day.
Here's 1st and goal. On the ground, a little stutter step by Jacobs. And he's inside the 5, and they're carrying him all the way down to the 2.
A lot of communication going on.
Heard some New York. 2nd and 15. It's Jacobs cross midfield and very close to picking it all up. Davis tripped him up. First down
Johnson,
10.
1-on-1.
They run with it. It's Jacobs to the 21. Be the better quarterback on the field with Drew Brees, and that'll get you a whole lot of respect league-wide. Here's Josh Jacobs for a first down. He's out to the 30-yard line, ran over Marcus Williams again. And
Jacobs with a hole, and he's up ahead for 12 or 13. Short week, hip injury, missed some practice time, let him recover, but he was questionable coming in. That was the first time he ever put a headset on. And we knew there was something special coming.
That is right. I do remember that. That was fun.
On 1st and 15 after the penalty, Jacobs finds his seam and able to get downhill. Such dynamic running ability. Late stiff arm gets inside Bill's territory. It's a pickup of 16 yards.
line of scrimmage is the 7. Handoff. Jacobs up the gut. He wins the battle. Touchdown, Raiders. And the Raiders were ready for it. Now they're trying to deliver a knockout punch with a jumbo formation. Carr on a handoff. Going up top. Josh Jacobs. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
A big part of that has been the run game. Carry number 20 on the day for Josh Jacobs. And Jacobs, look at him lower the shoulder. That's the Josh Jacobs we saw last year. But this game for both of these teams looked like a big opportunity here as Josh Jacobs breaks free and down to the 45-yard line.
3rd and 1. First time they've been in 3rd and short today. They've got Ingold in there in front of Jacobs. He's leading the way. Jacobs off the right side behind an Ingold block with a stiff arm, lunging for the pylon and in for the Raider touchdown. Big smile from Carr as Jacobs finds the end zone from 14. A lot of guys loaded up within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. It's just Adderley back behind there. Carr scanning the field, throws that one out in front of Jacobs, who makes a diving catch for a gain of 4. It's 3rd and 6.
Just saw Greg Olson, the offensive coordinator, 3 tight ends, 2nd down, 1. Jacobs finds a hole, breaks a tackle into the end zone. That's a touchdown. 11-yard touchdown run. Blocking ahead, the seam was found, and the Raiders on top with 9:44 to play in the first. Waylaid his rookie year. 1st and 10, Carr. Jacobs cuts outside niftily. Gets by Bassey. He is knocked out of bounds by Kareem Jackson.
The Broncos that jump a couple of times. That time he gets his own guy.
Waller's got 1 catch. 1st and 15. Nice cut outside by Jacobs in the stiff arm with Callahan not making the tackle. He slips another tackler. There is Chubb. Runs out of bounds. Missed tackles by the Denver D. 13-yard run to the 39 and a good one by Jacobs. 1st and goal, couple tight ends. Jacobs runs out, no one home. Touchdown, Las Vegas. 2nd rushing touchdown for Josh Jacobs. That's good for 5. He's got 15 rushing touchdowns in 22 games played.
Offensive front this year for Las Vegas. Through the middle. Here goes Jacobs all the way to the 1-yard line for a gain of 14. Sorensen saving the touchdown for the moment. It's 1st down and goal. Alec Ingold stays in there. He's up, lead the way. Does he lead the way here? And to the end zone. Touchdown. So Jacobs takes it in a great opening drive. 4 first downs on the drive. Mambas Kobe.
No doubt.
Jacobs, big hole. Breaking tackles. Picks up 11.
The Raiders offense that we expected to see coming into this and what we've seen the last 3 weeks.
With the 1st and 10. Nimbly, Carr out of the way. Nice blitz there by Jacobs. Great move. They make him miss. Willicon couldn't get him, and from behind Means catches up with him.
John Gruden is the head coach. He's not going to allow that to happen.
Under a minute to go in this opening quarter. There's running room for Jacobs, not at 100%, and John Gruden certainly challenged Jacobs. They rotate in there with stalwart. Lewis brings versatility. Mohammed. 3rd and 1. Jacobs, he gets the yard, and he gets more. Jacobs gets out to open space, and he just turns on the Jets. Good block from Ingold.
Play action from Carr, and the guy he faked it to, Josh Jacobs, makes a nice move and a good catch and run. First down of the game, 17 yards for Jacobs.
I'm not going to say what I want to say.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs over the right side. Got the blocking and takes it inside the 40. Ingold, the fullback. Jacobs gets it, and he's in. Touchdown, Las Vegas. B.J. Bello, linebacker, comes in for the Chargers. Jacobs makes a move. What a good effort. Gets it, makes a move. Plows down inside the 5. Rochelle missed a tackle, and Jacobs is showing his power.
Second down and 10. It is Jacobs. Josh Jacobs with a haul inside the 5, and it's 1st and goal for the Raiders. How many games have you won? Of course, got him to the playoffs in 2016. That's it, though. Here's a 1st down run for Josh Jacobs, who's been missing those chunk plays this season, but he gets one here for 14.
A lot of the AFC picture that has come into focus. Still awaiting. Most of the NFC games are in our late window as Josh Jacobs breaks a tackle and gets out across the 20-yard line. Still going.
Tough run by Josh Jacobs.
Over Dallas, so they need Washington to lose to Philadelphia tonight. And then they are in hosting a playoff game. And here is
Of the Oakland, now Las Vegas Raiders franchise.
Jacobs finds a seam, breaks a tackle inside the 10. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
And that's exactly what they've been missing for most of this game, Beth. Inside zones, smash mouth football.
Josh Jacobs gets it, and Josh Jacobs scores.
But now what do you do?
They went for 2 last year,
They
didn't
did.
get it, lost by a point, and Derek Carr puts up the 2 fingers again.
From the 15. Josh Jacobs finds a hole, and he'll dance his way to a 1st down. Alex Leatherwood, the rookie out of Alabama, leading the way. Pick up a 13. To the ground game. Josh Jacobs, touchdown, Las Vegas.
Playing it safe turns into a big play.
Jacobs finds a hole in the middle. Josh Jacobs into the end zone, touchdown. First and goal. Give it to Jacobs. He goes up high, extends the ball, loses the ball. Touchdown called for the Raiders. Eddie Jackson comes away with it, but the officials believe Jacobs broke the play.
Yeah, they have played a very clean game here against their rivals in the Denver Broncos. 2nd down and 4. Pressure's coming. Carr gets rid of it. A screen to Jacobs. Jacobs with room to run. Jacobs still going inside the 30 and finally down at the 21-yard line. Jacobs again. Jacobs takes it in for a Las Vegas touchdown. Mark Davis fired up. Jacobs, his 4th rushing touchdown of the year.
First QB in NFL history to reach 600 TD passes. 2nd down and 4. Carr sets up the screen. Jacobs inside the 15. 1st down and more. Pushes the pile all the way down to the Eagles' 8. 1st and goal from the 8. It's Jacobs. Cuts to the outside. To the end zone. (49-18) so far this season. 2nd down for Jacobs, looking for a block. Got one from Moreau, finding room down to about the 6. tackled by Logan Ryan. Second down and 2 with Jacobs. Renfro, by the way, back in. As he bounces here, Jacobs looking for a block. Does it more on his own. Inside the 10. Stiff-arming his way into Bradbury. Second down and 1. Jacobs got the block. Cuts, has the first. Stiff-arms his way out there by Ryan and takes it for a first down. And near midfield to the 46. Good run of 14.
Two of the wild cards play tonight, Pittsburgh and the Los Angeles Chargers.
There's a hole for Jacobs. And by far his best run of the day.
Jackson in the slot to the left.
They'll go Jacobs, and he'll go in virtually untouched for the touchdown.
Season changing.
You're exactly right. Even better said.
Here's the first down. Setting up a screen. Jacobs able to get through one tackle and take it to the 20. Pick up 17. Second and 2.
Dak with all those big-time throws in the fourth quarter, and then misses one there.
Look at this, breaking it into the secondary. It's Jacobs to the Cowboy 49.
To the footwear with the Adidas stay, because Reverend Run performing at halftime. I mean, Pam is on it. Here is Jacobs. Good cut. Big run. The first one of the game for the Raiders. And Jacobs, who's got a first down. They've been trying to get that going all day. Jacobs in trouble. Breaks the tackle, and he's in for the touchdown, Las Vegas.
Jacobs with running room inside the 20-yard line. No, lost ball. The ball is loose inside the 15, but it looks like, let's see, Ronald Darby corralled the football.
No, that's a turnover.
It is a turnover. Jacobs again. Good cut by Jacobs. He's got a first down across the 25-yard line. What is it?
On first and goal, it's Jacobs. And he is in for a Raiders touchdown.
Chargers led 21-0. Raiders got back in the game, but the Chargers won by 14 at the end. Big hole exploited here by Josh Jacobs. And he'll take it with some help up to the 37-yard line. So Josh Jacobs is the back. Give it to him, and he will work his way into the end zone as the Raiders retake the lead. What a turn of events.
Susan!
Jacobs breaking tackles. Big time run. All the way out to midfield and beyond.
Susan!
Jacobs again. Weaving his way. Great run inside the 30-yard line. So Jacobs looking like he did as a rookie.
The Raiders cashed, and they made it to the playoffs. First down run, Jacobs open space, shoulders down to the 47-yard line. Jacobs right, big opening there, and Jacobs into the secondary, pulling away from Bell. Jacobs caught from behind at the 12-yard line. What a run by Jacobs for the first down. 35 on that gallop, and the Raiders are in the red zone. Mike Hilton with the touchdown, with the tackle, I should say.
Clock's going to run. You do not have that much time.
From the 35, Carr is pressured. He steps up here, swings it out to Jacobs. Flag is down as Jacobs accelerates for 15. But a flag is down. Carr is indicating that it's on the Bengals.
It's a second down and 3, and Jacobs, who got a nice block in there from his lineman. And that was Simpson, the guard, and an 18-yard burst to the 40-yard line. Jacobs. Miller the block, outside to Jacobs. Room to roam. First down, and then driven out of bounds. Nice play.
Cannot and do not want to be a one-dimensional offense.
On 2nd and 5, they will keep it on the ground, and here comes Jacobs. Jacobs jukes to the outside, goes inside the 30-yard line to about the 32.
From the 37-yard line, it's Jacobs up the middle. And Jacobs all the way out to midfield, 12 yards. That's the longest run of the day for the Raiders.
Second down and 2. Jacobs. Here he goes, plowing into the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders, 10 yards.
Having a little bit of success against Pat Surtain.
1st and 10. And the swerving Jacobs gets away. They can't bring him down, even by holding on to his jersey. And a foot race into the secondary and brought down by Stearns. What a gallop. He's down near the 17-yard line on a run of 43.
That's critical because of time also, Kevin.
Yes. White is a rookie out of Georgia. Hand off. Jacobs slips into the end zone. Touchdown, Las Vegas. 7 yards.
Jacobs. Touchdown, Raiders. And right now, the Raiders are winning at the line of scrimmage on both defense and offense. First down for the Raiders, up 14 as they hand off to Jacobs. Breaking tackles, and on first down gets 13 yards. Raiders went 3 and out, then back-to-back touchdown drives. Here's a nice cutback by Jacobs. One-on-one and delivers the blow. Went right into safety Justin Reed and got 21 yards, ending with an exclamation point.
You know, they keep working the safety to his side.
Hand off to Jacobs. Arm tackling won't do the job. Downfield, it's Noddy making the stop, but after a gain of 13. Jacobs, 16 carries, 95 yards, just under 6 yards a pop. And more. Jacobs able to break loose inside the 30 and out of bounds near the 20. They'll mark him at the 22. 7-point game now. Raiders from the 25. Jacobs out of the backfield. Got a good block out on the edge from Renfro and turns that catch and run into 13 yards.
Have been vulnerable in the run game, has been with their cornerbacks trying to tackle.
On 3rd and 1, Jacobs has the first down and then some, as he is down to the 40-yard line. From midfield, Jacobs back to work again, finds running room left side, and look at him, first down, yardage, and out of bounds. Run out by the rookie Derek Stingley. 1st and goal from the 4. Jacobs, left side, looking for the end zone, reaching, did he get there? Touchdown.
But since the first couple drive, they haven't even been able to get close to Carr.
The pitch for Jacobs. Jacobs turning the corner, 30, 25, and out of bounds. Jacob right up the middle to the end zone for the touchdown. And Jacobs dips to the outside, cuts it back, spins, and gets yardage out across the 30 to about the 32. Make it the 31.
Carr has been pretty much perfect here in the second half.
The pitch for Jacobs. Jacobs, running room on the right side and out of bounds. Jacobs up the middle to the 5, to the end zone, touchdown Raiders.
It's something to keep an eye on that the Raiders may try and take advantage of as this game moves along.
5 defensive backs, 2nd down 10. This is Jacobs. Oh, he finds a gap. He squeezes through. They can't bring him down. Then finally Matthews takes him down from behind.
Are there 6 or 7 guys in the box?
Another handoff to Jacobs, and he slips through. Jacobs with a first down run, his longest today. Robertson Harris on the tackle after a gain of 12. 1:51 to go. Jacobs trying to take it to the outside, breaks through across the 30, and a first down run for Josh Jacobs. 2nd down and 2. Back to Jacobs. Oh, he's got a hole, and he's got a first down. Still going all the way out across the 40-yard line.
And the Raiders down on a quarterback touchdown sneak by Bryan, a 1st and 10 pitch. Jacobs, a block by Morrow, a block by Adams, and there he goes, chug into the 12. What a play. Jacobs, Johnson the block, touchdown, and the Raiders have come back to tie.
Best mentors in all of football.
Pretty good graduate level classes he's taken. After a gain of 7, draw play, and a first down for Jacobs. And he slips a couple tackles. He's one of the best tackle-breaking running backs in the NFL. He gets 14 yards there to move the chains. Jacobs. Boy, another small hole, and he squeezed through it again for plenty more. He gets a first down inside the Broncos' 40-yard line. Inside a minute. Getting closer to field goal range. Carr floats it. Jacobs, he's got it! Inside the 10! First and goal for Las Vegas with 48 seconds and counting.
That was a big interception now. Sets up Derek Carr on the 30-yard line.
Jacobs. 5. Jacobs breaking free, going to the end zone for the touchdown.
He's the real deal. He's our guy, and he's played well.
This is Jacobs. Jacobs pulls his way across the 40 and out to about the 44-yard line. So Carr looking now at a 2nd and 15. This side of the field. Oh, what a catch made by Jacobs. Josh Jacobs has recorded his... Well, he's got 98 on the verge of his 5th 100-yard game of the season. Carr to throw. A little delay and then coming over the middle. That's Jacobs, and Jacobs on the run across midfield into Seattle territory for a first down. Jacobs changing direction, finding running room up the middle across midfield to the 46 of the Seahawks. Brought down by Cody Barton. Jacobs with running room right up the middle. Jacobs is on his way. The Raiders are going to win this game. Eventually handed off to Jacobs, and Jacobs up the middle for the touchdown. That one looked just like overtime last week against Seattle, just a few yards shorter. Jacobs over midfield to the 45. Jacobs back into the lineup, and he gets the handoff. And he breaks free inside the 20 to the 15-yard line and a first down.
Yeah, the big play, of course, was the 32-yard pass to Adams. Meanwhile, into the end zone for the touchdown goes Josh Jacobs. Draw. Jacobs with a ton of room. Big gain. Ball is out. He got to the 47. And at the 50-yard line as Jacobs loses it. They're going to call him down by contact, and he is shaken up on the play.
2nd down and 10. Jacobs across midfield, still going. Finally tackled by Jonathan Jones after a gain of 18.
2nd and 6 at the San Francisco 47. Short toss. Jacobs with room to roam. Jacobs tripped up just shy of the 30-yard line. Eric Armstead got him on the ankles. Johnson at fullback. Jacobs the running back. Motion from Moreau. Jacobs the carry. Jacobs walks in for the touchdown.
Oh, baby. And to the second man through. Oh, first down and then some. Josh Jacobs inside the 20. Stidham takes a snap, draw play to Josh Jacobs. Gets the first down, putting the finishing touches.
Off the play fake, Garoppolo looking to throw again. Dumps it off to Josh Jacobs. Breaks a tackle with those strong legs. And along the sidelines, he's out of bounds.
Garoppolo, Miller the block at the left tackle. Here comes Jacobs on the move and into the secondary and up to the 34-yard line and hit by a couple, including Taron Johnson. It is a catch and run of 12, and he's up to the 33. Aiden O'Connell with Jacobs. Oh, a nice block by Johnson. That is a touchdown.
The ability to handle everything that the Chargers are throwing at him.
Second down and 7. O'Connell. Outside, Jacobs through his hands on the ricochet, reels it in. Look at him, he's going to get the first down. And then ushered out of bounds by Jasir Taylor. 3rd and 18. They need the 42. Underneath he goes. There's Jacobs, blocked by Johnson. Grabbed from the side by Murray, and he's got the first down. Carter on the move. O'Connell to Jacobs. Touchdown! Finagles his way in for 6 and a new ball game in Los Angeles.
Packers back on top by 3. Hand to Jacobs. Good move on Alexander. And Jair Alexander. Fullback Jakob Johnson in the game. 1st and goal from the 2. Jacobs. Touchdown Raiders.
For 90 yards. That went for 21. Now in 1st down. It's Jacobs into the secondary.
Back to him. What a drive for Jacobs and the Raiders. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
Bo Hardigree said he was going to run a little more pace. One of the things he thought he could do today on a short week to work as Jacobs gets to the outside. A block from Davante Adams and a first down.
And part of that is you catch the defense.
And now to the line on 1st down and goal. Jacobs gets the carry, looking for room. Jacobs pushing the pile in for the touchdown. Jacobs plowing forward to the goal line. Look at him reach the football over for the touchdown. The ball popped free, but not before it broke the plane. Jacobs with his 2nd score, and it's 20-0.
After the loss of 8, it is Jacobs on the edge. Nice job here. They're trying to get Jacobs outside to get him some room to run.
They've been going to Davante Adams a lot, despite the fact now there's safety help.
17th carry for Josh Jacobs. This is best of the night. Jacobs in the secondary. Jacobs at the 20. Fumble the football out of bounds. Raiders will keep it.
Last week in Miami, 10 of 11. It's a 1st and 10. Josh Jacobs. Oh, he's got the big hole. He's into the secondary. They can't get him. You can kiss him goodbye. Touchdown. Touchdown Raiders. 63 yards.